right, and we're here in the action for the third and final match of the day. OC Stunners, Puerto Rico Pythons. This is the final match number 60 of the regular season here of the 2023 NVA season. I'm Nick England, joined by the owner of the number one team in the National Conference, the Texas Tyrants. That's right, Gianluca Grasso, joining us here for another special guest this weekend. Thanks so much for joining me, G.
Yeah, absolutely, Nick. Thanks for having me. I love this opportunity.
It's been great. You know, you're up here. You guys locked it in. Another one of those matches. I think this is a pride match here. You guys have already taken that first seed. You've guaranteed that you're going to be playing Puerto Rico Pythons in the first round in 3 weeks' time. But you're getting to really see the other two teams, maybe do a little bit of scouting.
Yep.
But before we get into that, I want to acknowledge a little bit about how great your guys' season was. Last year, you guys had an amazing roster. You guys were always kind of like right on that edge, looking like a playoff team from week one. But in the offseason, you know, you really had to overhaul that roster, a lot of new pieces, and you upgraded in virtually every single spot by a large margin. What was that adventure like for you?
It was actually really easy to find guys that were willing to come in and step up for us. And we got guys with experience, guys that wanted to play hard and just represent the Tyrants in the best way possible.
Yeah, it was great also seeing, you know, there was some kind of like, I'll call them Skittle packs. You know, you got that trio of Tanner Maxwell, Ryan Mather, Antoine Aguillard. Yeah. Since I also left Ramblers, that kind of schismed off. So those guys went over a great little bit. Chris Hall coming out. You got Vika Sloan, some of your USC boys, you know. It all made a lot of sense from the outside, but it was great just how quickly it all came together, and it seemed like for a team that doesn't get to practice together, your guys' synergy is as good as it gets.
Yeah, I love Tanner, and I love Mather too. We started out in Utah when I played for the Ramblers back then. So we've maintained a good relationships ever since, and we were able to come together here this year. And obviously bringing in Chris and Vikas from my teammates at SC, we already had that chemistry. So we were all kind of able to mesh really well, which worked out great for us.
Well, the team's been looking good, and so does the play here. We're going to get into the action. We've got OC Stunners, Puerto Rico Pythons. We can see on the side of the Stunners, they're using a couple of their reserve guys that you may not see normally on the outside. Tanner Woods has been playing both pins. Spencer Olivier, of course, in that 2 spot. Hui Ding at the libero. You've got Nacho Roberts taking hands. Shane Beamer in the middle, and we've got also the high flyer, Damani Lenore, on the right side. What are you seeing over for Puerto Rico?
We have here, I think we had an injury the first day for Ricky Vega with the Puerto Rico Pythons. I think he kind of twisted his ankle a little bit, so we have Orlando Santiago here on the outside. Fun fact about him, me and him played in Puerto Rico when we were 16 years old. So I've known him for a long time. He's a great outside hitter, great ball control guy, and very high flyer as well. With him on the outside is Giovanni Ginas. Again, great friend of mine from Puerto Rico. I've known him for a long time. Great height. He's coming back to the game after taking a couple of years off, but he's gotten back into it, and he's been able to help the Pythons here a little bit. Pacheco is the libero. I played against him a lot in Puerto Rico, where he was always a very, very good defender. You'll see him scrap balls left and right. Here, Orlando with a good pipe hit. And obviously Jair, the big man on the right side with Amari setting. So team looks good. I'm excited to see what they're able to do today.
Yeah, there's been a lot of challenges with that roster. We've talked about how much, you know, early on in the season they were a little thin at times, but now they've got the full depth. They've got 7 guys down there, barring an injury, as you mentioned, for Vega. So it'll be interesting to see what they do here, but both these teams definitely trying to feel each other out because it might matter as that final weekend rolls around. Yeah,
absolutely. You know, even though this match doesn't really matter, I still think that guys want to compete and want to come out on top, especially because they might even face each other again in the semifinals.
Right.
You know. So that's a possibility. Hopefully not for my sake, but you know.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the broadcast booth where you got to go up and talk trash about your team after you just lost a rough reverse sweep or something. I feel that all too well. Oh my goodness.
Off the head here.
And that ceiling is live. That is the one FIVB modified rule. And Spencer Olivier from the outside.
With the payback.
Oh, yeah. So we have talked this event. We had never seen a ball hit the ceiling. There's a nice extension right over the court, so it's even taller on an already massive ceiling. That was the first one we've ever seen get all the way up there, and that was off of his head. So
hopefully he's all right. He looks all right, so was able to get a kill right after that. So
we've had a couple headshots this weekend. Poor Sam Schuldenberg.
Yeah.
Then Jake Milnazic replaced him the next day. He took one off the face.
Oh, wow.
I was coaching yesterday. I got a bloody nose. I took a face shot.
Really?
Yeah, line shot down, hit Josh Duarte's left arm, skipped off him, hit me in the face. God. Bro, it's been a war zone out there.
Duarte with no ball control out here.
Hey, my guy, I have to give credit where credit's due. He put up 22 serves in 3 sets yesterday with, I think, no errors and 3 aces.
Wow.
If I remember correctly. He was doing a stellar job for me. So, maybe the back row is not where he lives, but stellar performance on the service line. So
I remember I played with Duarte when he was in the Ramblers too, and he was he always had a sneaky little serve.
Yeah,
it's always
it's not nearly as scary as a lot of people, but it's consistent. He finds it.
He has good rotation on that, but good spin. Yeah, it's definitely. I was on Instagram and I kept seeing Duarte. What's going on over here? But.
It was also kind of funny you call back to that 2020 Ramblers team when we were teammates for that.
Yeah.
It's also funny that Kendall Ratter finally came back.
True.
You guys were our 0-1-0-2, two of the shortest outsides in the league, and man, it felt like no blockers' hands were safe on that team.
Yeah, that was a fun little tournament. We were able to get third there, losing to the Utah
in the semis.
Yeah, they ended up taking the championship. So here comes Jair for. Oh, no, not Jair yet. Here is Ivan for
Ivan Fernandez.
Quick float serve. See if he can put some pace on it.
Ismail has been struggling a little bit the other middle, so hopefully Fernandez able to kind of lock that one down a little bit more.
There you go.
Good ball. Looking for Beamer, and that's why. Off the bat, Nacho Roberts has a very big tendency to start matches looking at the middle and sometimes kind of fades away from that tendency. So Beamer, a very explosive offensive threat. I'll be excited to see if he kind of maintains that because I know Nick West is always looking for that ball.
Yeah.
And sometimes Nacho doesn't quite use him in those big moments.
Yeah.
But when you got Chavers, when you got Olivier and all those high flyers, he's got a litany of options.
Yeah, his job becomes easy. That was a great route there by Shane, hitting that push.
Coach Prosser finds the dig. Grant Maroki and Spencer Olivier, teammates in college at Long Beach, graduated and have found their way onto the court here. We've had several guys really do a nice job making that NCAA transition. Also notably J.R. Norris, playing from UCLA, playing for the Inland Empire Matadors.
Yeah, he just came out. I mean, that championship match for UCLA, he was a big deal in that match.
7 aces, I think?
Something like that. Big serve here by Jair with the shank by
Tanner Woods.
Another
NCAA guy, in NAIA, but he actually was one of the guys that just won out of Vanguard.
That's right.
So he just won an NAIA championship as well.
That's right.
So a lot of youth. Stunners has kind of struggled to find guys that will stick around and be kind of revitalizing a little bit deeper bench.
Yeah.
Also got Calvin Sanborn in there.
Right.
So just a lot of those young guys, and it's been very helpful for them, scary for a lot of us, because a team that always had kind of that core 7 or 8 guys that could do so much work feels like they got 12 full bodies now.
Yeah. I mean, if you have guys that maybe are struggling here, you have 2 or 3 more bodies that can come in and try to do the job. So you have your options. You're Giovanni Ginas with a nice off-speed shot to the middle of the court. Jing almost got there. Is that how you say his name? Jing?
Hui Ding.
Ding, sorry.
Yeah. It's a tricky one. He hails from China. He's been in the U.S. for quite a while. Played some NCAA ball, I believe, at Concordia, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that one, but wow.
Good dig by Jair. Then that, Orlando with the off-speed.
Easy rollover for that step close, and Alomar tips to recycle. Now we're going to see Pacheco take that outside
nice
D-ball. It's a very good set. Stays clean. Pacheco once again. Rolls off high. Damani makes the move.
like to see Damani take a step for that ball instead of throwing his body. But
Yeah.
I think Damani was, I mean, obviously he's skies. He's a very, very good jumper. And I think he was a middle up until, I don't know what he played in college.
Yeah, so Northridge was a right side.
Right.
And that's where they moved him. Blaze had no true middles last year. So that's where they moved him and Steven Roeder to the middle. Also, shout out to Roeder representing the Philippines for some of those the SEA games.
Yeah.
So he'll be out there competing with Ryan Kaw from UCSD, 2 of the Americans on that squad.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, we want to see them trying to move their feet a little bit more on defense. Try to get to that ball's in.
Oh, that was in for sure. Pacheco put a lot of effort into getting out of the way, only for it to tag that back line.
Yeah, that was a nice controlled pace serve here by Spencer. Let's see if he can do it again.
I really have enjoyed seeing him in the NVA. I feel like getting a little bit of a redemption story. I think that after the 2021 season, I thought like the way that some of the people treated his position on that team, he's a true 0-2. He really likes having that big 0-1 next to him, someone that he can rely on. Yeah. And when the team didn't have that anymore, I think it changed the way people looked at him, but it was like that's not how he plays the game. Mm-hmm. And when he gets to that next level, he's so naturally just plugged in here, and you could see exactly how good he was.
Yeah. And yeah, he has I remember Spencer from Balboa Bay when he was a young kid, and he always had a good arm swing ever since he was 15, 16, 17, up to 18s at Balboa, when I'm pretty sure they won almost every year national champions. So he's always been a part of a winning culture. And then obviously going to Long Beach, he was a part of a lot of
winning there.
A lot of winning, yeah. I don't know if did he actually win one?
Well, yeah, because he was part. Let's see, they won 1920. So maybe he was on the bench for one of those. The COVID years really messed me up.
Yeah.
Trying to keep track of all of that.
Yeah, a lot of guys got extra years because of that.
Yeah, so. It kind of skews my memory looking back.
Yeah. Here comes Ismail for a serve. Let's see if he can do a little better this game. Ismail, also a teammate of mine in Puerto Rico.
That's a good ball. Just give the guys a chance to play.
There you go. I don't know what Jair is doing up there on defense, but maybe he's waiting for a tip, especially with a setter front row here. He's got to take a step back and wait for that.
I almost applaud him because of his willingness to stand there, but that's a little scary standing by Amari. Put your helmet on if you're going to be that close.
Yeah. Good speed here. The set to the outside, Orlando. Nice dig by the middle.
Woods chips that one off, taken by Pacheco. Backside, Santiago against 2, and that one funnels through. Tanner Woods not quite getting over the net the way he might want. Nice dig in transition and all that rally by Maroki there. Always love a little bit of middle defense. In the words of Matt Buffum, they're all about for the brand. He and Matt Seifert, two of the more defensive middles.
Mm-hmm. Here comes Amari with the serve. He has a good lefty arm, too. With the pipe. He's clear. That ball was in. I saw that ball in.
It was close, that's for sure. My gut reaction says it might have been kind of one of those ball compression on the back end, but I think it tagged it, and I think we get an answer. We get an answer to scratch our itch. I do love, I think this event's been one of our best in terms of the team running that technical side of it. It's been sped up quite a bit. That's been the nice thing. We've invested in it, so it's our system now. We're not bringing in a third party to kind of manage it.
That's great.
But it's always nice to get these sort of you get to answer the question. Because I never played college. I didn't have NCAA, so there was never a challenge involved in my career. So you just kind of, the way I handled it was you shrug it and move on.
Yeah.
Because there was no other choice.
You get a little pissed off, and then you're like, wow, that,
It is.
Having the challenge system is a game changer. And there's things that, see, that was in.
Well, there it is. Also, it's pretty fun. I've been really enjoying, I've talked about it, but I've had about 6 or 7 players up here this weekend helping out. I love that you guys are all getting to see now exactly what we see and kind of like, it just opens it up a little bit. Yeah. And it's really funny because so many teams look up at us, even when we're down courtside, to see what our take is or if they can hear us talking about it. Yeah. Like, do we need to challenge that?
Yeah.
What a dig by Roberts. Tanner Woods tracks it down, but that leaves a hole in front left. love to reward that hustle. Unfortunately, kind of left a hole. You'd like to see Beamer, someone else, kind of making some moves towards that.
Yeah, a little miscommunication there by the libero on the outside. I should probably, especially if he's front row, he should let the libero take care of that so he can try to get a swing out of it. Good pass by Tanner. Set him.
Nice little one-handed tap there from Fernandez.
Jair.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah. Just so for a little rule clarification for people at home, as long as you're on center line touching it, everything is fair game. That does mean that guys will kick each other and regularly think that someone might be under, but there is fair game. Both people have access as long as you're touching it. The minute you lose contact with that line and go fully under and impede the play, that's where you'll see that under call. So yeah. Jair staying totally neutral there. Very well done by him.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good body control by Jair for sure. Set's a little bit tight.
One of those statements you don't get to say all that often, so good work by the big man. 15-11 from Tanner Woods here.
Giovanni with the swing. Recovered by Pacheco. Amari trying to put the ball deep. The pipe to Tanner. Nice dig by Orlando. Amari with the set. Giovanni with the off hands. Nice point here by the Pythons.
You had mentioned that Giovanni is going to be he's kind of coming back to it all, and we were chatting last night. I'm excited. I hope he sticks around, keeps building with this Pythons team as he kind of gets that touch back. I'm really excited to see what happens for him because he's been very good but a little inconsistent, and I know that once he kind of gets those continued touches, he's going to be a solid point, and he brings so much size to the outside that is uncharacteristic for many of the Puerto Rican outsides.
Yes. Giovanni, I'll tell you something about it. He was a really, really hard worker. He's very dedicated as well. He actually got picked up by the Puerto Rican League in the good block by Jair. He got picked up by the Puerto Rican team, Changos and Naranjito, for this upcoming season in the Puerto Rican League, and he's actually going to stay in Chicago. He's going to live in Chicago and fly every weekend to Puerto Rico to be able to represent that team.
Wow.
He got a sweet deal with the airfare here and from Chicago to Puerto Rico, and he mentioned that he's flying every weekend out there to play. He's always been a dream of his to play in the Puerto Rican league. So
yeah, he got drafted in the second round, put his name into the draft, and was pleasantly surprised. He thought no chance, no one takes any interest, and right away
he got picked up. Yeah, so it was a good thing for him. Overpass here.
Surprised that wasn't perhaps a double. It's kind of that first contact ball always gets a little weird. Olivier with a good tip over the top. Outside. Help me. He told me last night how to properly say the name. I know the emphasis is on the A.
So the double L.
Yeah, because I'm used to that being a Y sound. He said it's more of a G for him.
Sound, yeah. It's so the double L sound in Spanish is usually like a G, so it's like Ginas.
Yeah, because and he also said the emphasis is on the A at the end. Ginas.
Yeah, Ginas. So yeah, that's I always thought it was Linus, but he's Giovanni here with that very dedicated player.
Wow, nice there it is. You talked earlier about being the high flyer. One of those things that Damani has continued to try and develop, though, is, obviously the offense.
Yeah.
That is established. But it's kind of in those out-of-system moments when you can't just see ball, hit ball.
Yeah.
You got to be able to control, swing that deep thing, and kind of develop more well-rounded game.
Yeah.
And that's what's really going to help him as, he develops on the stunner squad. But his priority in the offseason was getting out of the middle. He wanted to find a team that trusted him to go to that right side.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he's in a league where the right sides here across the board are stacked. So kind of getting your foot in the door as a starting right side, pretty difficult task.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, he seems to get better every event. So hopefully he can keep bettering the ball.
Yeah.
Instead of just trying to hammer it every time and be a little bit smarter about plays. I think he'll get there.
Yeah.
Jair here with the stuff on Jair. Wow. Big block by Spencer.
That was the Long Beach duo, the 49ers going left there. Nice work. 18-14, a little 4-point lead here for the Stunners. And that's going to be a timeout. Coach David Chaparro going to give the boys a little bit of a chance to breathe, talk about that, and see if they can maybe ice Tanner Woods before anything gets too crazy.
Yeah, Puerto Rico Pythons here struggled a little bit on serve receive. There's that ace by Spencer. couple overpasses that the Stunners were able to finish it off. So hopefully they can control the ball a little better on serve receive and get the middles going here.
And I would say it's kind of uncharacteristic, right? It's you kind of pride Puerto Rico volleyball on the ball control. That's something that they're so good at. Pacheco's been phenomenal. And so I don't think it's a big ask, but they're getting hit with some pretty big jump serves. Just got to get behind that a little bit quicker and just pop it up. Start by passing to your 10-foot line, not on the net. Give yourself every ball a chance to play it out.
Yeah, exactly. You want to give yourself a chance to swing. Right, you want to give your team an opportunity to score. If you're trying to push the ball too tight to the net, obviously there's always that chance that team's going to hit that overpass. So here comes Shane with the floater or hybrid.
The ball that you either pass with your platform or get hit in the chest.
Yeah. A little hybrid. Decent pass by Orlando.
Wow, good fix.
Very, very good set here by Amari. Changing the direction of the game. Here comes a sub.
It's that double sub they're using. Luis Carlo Ruiz is going to be replacing Santiago, and then we're going to see Steven Morales coming in for Amari Miranda, and that really gives them. It's going to end up being 9 full rotations of front row opposites. Is to the best of your knowledge, is Morales naturally a right side?
So Steven has been playing volleyball for a long time. He started off as a middle Puerto Rican national team when he was younger, and he's been moving pretty much his whole life from to the right side to the middle. He was always playing that position where he got called for.
Gotcha.
So if they needed him in the middle, he'd play middle. If they needed him on the right side, he would be a right side. Steven, when he was in his prime days. This guy, my dad actually coached him in Puerto Rico.
Oh, really?
Yeah, about 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so Steven was a beast, man. He got a couple injuries past couple years, so he hasn't been able to perform like he usually does. He's getting back into it too as well, but I'll show you a picture of him playing like when he was in his peak.
Yeah.
Wow,
he's an absolute physical
just
specimen.
Like chest over the net, just crazy jump.
Damani Lenore is lighting this one up. A great job there from Ignacio Roberts to sling that one back. Both these setters doing a very good job keeping pin-to-pin active.
Yeah, absolutely. Python's blockers here is a little bit lost when he's setting that back row. You'd like to see a double block on that.
Yeah, and instead it's not only not a double block, it's one late blocker, and that's a throw into the face of Hui Ding.
Yeah, that was aggressive play there by Ismail. Ref thought he was good.
Yeah, I didn't see any change of direction, but he kind of still Hui was not ready for that at all.
Yeah, he was expecting a tip out of Ismail. Let's see. There you go.
He shorted up. There was just a rough set one, we'll say. Maybe a little jet lag. He got a touch off of Ismail Alamar there.
Yeah, I might have seen a touch on him too, but
that's not challengeable.
That's not challengeable. I think he might challenge here on
block.
Touch on the block.
I thought honestly there was touches on both personally, but I heard Ismail when his right hand was up. I heard that thunk noise that we're also.
We're looking at him now. He's saying that he didn't touch it, so maybe Yvonne over here, Fernandez in the front row, maybe he touched it.
One of the big things to keep in mind that we always highlight that Ignacio Roberts is looking at is when you've got some of those smaller pins and smaller setters on the side of the Pythons, he's always looking for those mismatches, kind of calling back to that D ball. He's really isolating a smaller blocker, giving Damani Lenore just free reign, a lot of court to hit. And Roberts has been so notorious for it. That's why he's been so successful the last 2 seasons in the NVA. He really sees that stuff very well.
Yeah, he's been able to distribute the ball really well here in the first set, kind of getting everybody involved, the pipe involved, back row attack here on the D ball, a couple balls to the middle. So yeah, he's been doing a great job so far. Let's see what they say about this touch here or not touch.
I forget where he played last season. I want to say he was second league Spain. I can't recall. I know whatever team he was on just promoted, so he's heading to first league wherever it was, but I'm totally brain dumping what country it was in.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We could probably we can yell it.
That's always the fun part is when we have the full. Yep, touch confirmed. That's interesting that they signaled to a touch back.
The opposite.
Oh no. Okay,
opposite front row.
We both saw him middle back, and I was like, that's not challengeable. Don't want to be on there questioning our officials here, but Moroki with that spinner. Goes a little off-speed tight ball. Good fix dug by Damani. And now he gets a chance to swing. That's kind of that that's the swing we were talking about of swing management.
Yeah. I mean, even though I like him being aggressive, they're down by 2 here. You know, you want to see that was a nice, strong, high swing. You know, just didn't catch any fingers, unfortunately. But that's where there's always that question: he should have gone for that high hit, or he should have gone for that recycle ball.
Yes.
You know, so there's always that question in your mind of what's the best thing to do right now for my team. You know.
Certainly, and to add to the confusion here, so they're actually +3 still because Pythons are home, they're away, but the scoreboard that we're looking at is inverted because it's true home guest. Just another thing why I love you guys getting to check this all out, because these are some of the things when you're like, how does Nick not know that stuff? Well, welcome to the confusion at times. Hui Ding sends that one over, and Pacheco gives an opportunity to Santiago, covers him up, dances on the tape. Amari Miranda looking, and Roberts looking for an opportunity. Every setter always wants to be that offensive hero. Not quite it.
He wanted it too. He wanted it bad, but could take advantage of it.
All right, well, that's going to be a quick breather. Coach Prosser, he was happy with that 4-point lead when we were sitting at 21-17. Slowly losing it a little bit, wants to get his guys recentered and just catch a little breather here, because if there's one thing you don't want, it's all of those green and gold jerseys starting to chirp, get fired up, and get that Puerto Rico fire going.
Yeah. You never want to get it started with them, because it's always, like you said, put more wood in the fire when you start chirping them.
Speaking of crowds, I've seen from you were playing with Berge and Eisenberg this past season. I've seen some of those, what was it, the Challenge Cup matches.
Oh, yeah.
Where the fans in there with the flares inside.
Oh, yeah.
You guys were down playing Olympiakos in Greece.
Yeah, that was great. That was actually a match that we played against a team from Cyprus. And both our teams and their teams were also soccer clubs.
Yes.
So there was like a big rivalry between this Israeli team and the team from Cyprus. And when it came down to the match, the fans got a little bit crazy and started throwing some flares on the court. I actually had to grab one from right at my feet and had to throw it outside because it was burning the Terraflex. Nice put back here by Jair.
I didn't see the net, but they were looking for one. But that was impressive. Sometimes when you're coming down, it is so easy. As you're on your way down, even if you throw that ball slightly, you catch the net quick.
Yeah. There was a couple of plays that might have skimmed the net here before that play actually happened.
Yeah.
And
the net here is predictable to play in, but it does keep bouncing for quite a while.
Yeah.
And so some guys, we've seen several confusions on where people think there's a net touch, but it'll even be like the serve on the way over. It's still kind of bouncing from that. So
yeah,
it's gotten a couple people. Russ Holmes, I think, fell victim to that on the last match, throwing some shade as he's currently our producer in ear.
Ronnie with the control hit.
Pacheco gets cheeky with it to Fernandez. And to understand really how difficult that is, liberos are not allowed to set with their hands in front of the 10-foot line. So it's critical that they, he's got to be long jumping from behind the 10, trying to feed that in there.
Yeah.
Very creative and crafty, but just fails in execution.
Good pass by Ginaz. Jair with the hammer out here. Jesus, that was hard.
Nacho was definitely already leaning back, trying to pop it up, so it definitely added a little dramatic flair there, gave it a full decleat look, took him off his feet, but
Yeah, it sounded painful too. Nacho seems to be all right though.
knocked the wind out of you a little bit, and even if he's not okay, you will never know. He ain't going to crack. Passing has continued to struggle a little bit from the stunners.
Oh, Jair again with the swing.
Little look through the net, surveying his next target, it would seem.
Yeah, he's been able. Those are some great approaches by Jair, getting behind the ball and getting some power in it.
And I know sometimes he's a little slow to start on certain sets, but the guy is the kill leader in the NVA.
Ooh.
That was something I was critical of when they played Freedom earlier this weekend. They got to those like 2020, 2021 moments, and they weren't setting Jair with the ball. Like, that is where he earns his keep. And they're feeding some of those smaller outsides, middles that hadn't quite yet established themselves. Give Jair the ball, even if he's struggling a little bit. Like, he'll make it work for you.
Yeah, you got to feed your big dog in these key moments here. You know, you want the big arm. Here comes another sub. My coach Chaparro, Giovanni Torres coming in for the serve. Hopefully he can keep the Stunners team here struggling and see what happens.
Set point number 1. Torres has come in a couple times as an outside option. Obviously one of the smaller guys, but a great defensive player. And
Ooh, tied pass here. He's the back row. I think he was over the net on that block.
He tried pulling hands, but for rule clarification, as a back row player, if any part of your body is above the tape, even 1 centimeter, when that ball is breaking the plane, you are, it's a back row violation. Also worth noting, basically the net stands at 8 feet, 8'11" and 7/8", I think is the final count. So any guy here standing with hands up, they're over the net.
Yeah, 7-11.
7. That's what it was. I was 1 foot higher. Could you imagine?
No. It'd be the end of my career, that's for sure.
You'd be wearing that opposite colored jersey.
Yeah. Finally turned to libero. Here's Shane with that
hybrid.
With that nice hybrid. Nice
Good
pass
ball.
by Giovanni. Nice.
Man, that hard angle is open. I want to see some adjustments between Jair, Giovanni. All the boys are able to get in there and swing kind of that 4-4 hard angle. Feels like the block's just going way too far outside.
Yeah. They gotta kind of realize that he's liking setting the outside now, especially Jair was on the outside, and let's see if Jair can get an ace here.
Got one already this match.
Ooh.
There it is.
I saw that in.
I saw that in as well.
Middle's here.
I do like this challenge, though. Coach Prosser already won their first one, so they do still have 3. The way that works, you get 3 to start the match. For every one that you get right, you just keep it, and it sits in the bank. If you get it wrong, you lose it. So definitely want to challenge something like this because you don't want to go down 26-25.
Yeah. I thought that was a great placement by Jair there.
Yeah.
Grazed the net a little bit, which kind
of slowed it down.
Yeah, it changed the direction of the ball a little bit. But from here, I saw it in. I'm not sure.
I did too. And, I think, and again, the important thing, it's all about the 1%. As long as you hit 1% of the line, and sometimes when the ball compresses, that's all it takes, and just any bit of it. Also worth noting, just like any major sport you're used to seeing, there has to be irrefutable evidence to overturn the standing call. So call was in. That means when they're doing all these camera sideline reviews, if they don't have a clear-cut decision, it's going to stay as the call, and that's going to be set point going over to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, let's see what our head ref, Mike Mon, here says about this call. Yeah, I was going to mention, Nick, this next set here, you want to see Puerto Rico be a little bit more patient on that block because I feel like they're trying to guess too much where the ball's going, and there's a lot of holes. Damani was able to get a couple kills here on, hitting the back row on a ball that's set off the net, and the ball, he's not hitting a very fast ball, so you want to see the Pythons middles kind of wait and react here. You know?
Yeah, I agree. And the one thing is, like, he's hitting line well, but it's not true line. It's kind of that line angle, 5 feet inside. So bring your block not all the way to the pin, come a 1.5 feet inside the pin, let your middle square to you so you're taking more court. And again, you've always got your libero behind you. So especially the way that Pacheco plays back there, there's no reason to try and chase him all the way to the line.
Correct.
Now your middle can't close. Now you've got holes everywhere. Pacheco's guessing. And it's kind of that small little bit of discipline that you've got to just shore up.
Correct, yeah. Ignacio, he's pretty consistent setter. You're not really seeing him trying to be too flashy here, trying to use the middles when the ball is outside 10-foot line, you know. So,
right.
Like I mentioned, those middles, they need to be ready to move left to right. They haven't been really great at that, which caused this set to push over to 26-25 or to favor the Pythons.
For me right now, if I get a good pass, I'm playing in front of me. So if I get a good pass with Amari Miranda, I'm either going out to Olivier or I'm running a little bit of a push one or a 3-ball. I would also expect that we might actually see a blocking swap or something like that. So I'm just kind of keeping an eye on that. But I want to attack that small blocker.
Yeah. Keep your eye on Amari though. He's not a bad blocker. We'll see if we can get something done here.
Yeah.
Oh. Jair with the
trying to send Ismail to the hospital. Catches his arm, not his head, luckily.
See, Jair here, man. I understand he's going in for the glory, but you need to understand that your team you need to give your team an opportunity to swing. And now the miss by Jair on the serve.
2 errors compounding.
Compounded to 2 errors, exactly.
Well, Stunners catch a breath of fresh air. I would expect to see Chaparro. So he's slowing. This is all gamesmanship. He knows exactly what just happened. He's trying to chat about it, slow it down. I would expect to see a timeout now, right after this.
He's either going to time out or maybe he's challenging.
Okay, that's just a terrible challenge. Sorry, that's that one was completely into the tape.
Yeah, that was very, very clearly. Very clearly not on the block. There's not a touch there. I think, some that he might be I think he already used his 2 timeouts, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, very well could be.
So, he might be using a challenge here to
as a faux timeout kind of thing. Yeah, replicate it, or
trying to slow things down a little bit.
Either way, you know where he messed up. This is our joke and rule of thumb on the broadcast. Is if you don't look at us first for like hey, what did you see? Then that's on you, because we tell everyone equally what we see. Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
But we'll always give you our input as well. But I'm kind of curious. This is also some of the guessing game.
Yeah, you got Giovanni looking at me, trying to.
He's like, "What did you guys see?"
Yeah.
And
not good news for him.
He can watch this one back later and.
Yeah, his approach is a little bit tight to the net. The ball is a little off the net, so he wasn't able to. He was actually under the ball there, try to cut it down the line.
Yep.
Ended up not going over the net.
I think we're up here on the broadcast. You and Vanderbeek have combined with me for, I think, 4 for 4 on the correct calls of knowing which way that's going. So
nice.
Good work, us. Keeping it accurate, keep them honest. And Damani now with set point number 2 for the Stunners.
Nice pass, nice serve. Jair, nice.
That's a great adjustment. That's the difference. And again, it's not the blocking. It's not what the block tells you to do, right? That's Spencer Olivier, Grant Maroki. That's not the quote unquote smart set based on what you see in the scheme. But that's trusting your hitter more than the situation. I really like that opportunity.
Absolutely, yeah. Jair staying behind the ball, being able to hit the ball as hard as he can. Olivier here. Oh,
punches that one through. Alamar a touch late. Ooh.
Here comes Spencer on the serve. See if he can repeat what he did earlier in the set.
If they have a timeout or any way to slow the game down, here's the time. Man, he's been a menace.
Spencer with a good serve. Pacheco with a nice pass. Jair again, this time out of bounds.
Hey, he got you there. You ride and die with him, and maybe you don't go back to him on set number 2, but I think that's an overall good look. And a nice little push into the deep part of that with 29-27. We'll take a quick breather here. There's a 3-minute gap between sets. We'll come back into it. These teams both throwing some haymakers, and we'll see where they pick back up. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back here in 2.5 minutes. All right, well, we're still here courtside. I'm joined once again, Gianluca Grasso, getting a lot of insight. It's great that, I only know so much about this Puerto Rico team. There's a couple names that we've seen in the league for some time.
Yeah.
I'm more familiar with your Ricky Massanet, your Jair Santiago, Joseph Cuevas, but a lot of guys are new. So it's awesome having your insight. You've played with, against, seen so many of these guys.
Yeah. I've lived in Puerto Rico when I was 16 and maintained really good relationships with people there, and then playing overseas, or not really overseas, but playing in Puerto Rico professionally. I've met a bunch of these guys, made friends with them, played against them, played with them. So I actually have, let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys on the squad that have been my teammates.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So okay, you know them intimately.
Yeah.
That's cool to see. And, again, always do my best to kind of make my circuits around with the new teams, get to know the players. But I was chatting with them a little bit more last night. But great getting some additional insight. And once again, we see Roberts getting decleated there. Back in system outside to Santiago. Hammers that into 1-6 seam. What a beautiful swing for 14.
Nice recovery here by Jerry after sailing that last ball in the first set. Good to see that he's still taking those risks without those high shots.
I like to see this after set number 1. Pythons plus 12, Stunners plus 14. Both teams are scoring their points, minimizing errors with good reason. We see 2 blocks from Pythons, 1 from the Stunners. Nice dig from Pacheco. Santiago not tracking that one down. A little bit more nimble on the toes would have been nice.
Yeah, again, Jair could have taken a couple extra steps here to get under that ball.
He's 6'10". One step probably would have done.
One step would have probably done it.
Also worth noting that Pythons passed at double the clip of the Stunners, 46 to 23%.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about, those overpasses here. Jair, again, trying to go for those high hands, kind of mishitting the ball a little bit. Nick, it's good to see that Pythons only had 2 missed serves, though. You know, that's a good thing. And Stunners
missed
only
3.
with
Both
3.
Both teams getting 2 aces as well. That's what's crazy, though, is it felt like the service pressure was far harder from the Stunners with the spins, but handled way better by the Pythons. And a lot of there's kind of a lot more variety from the Pythons. A couple float serves from the middle. Santiago hitting that big off speed.
Yeah.
You know, Amari's hitting that lefty kind of hook shot coming in. So there's a lot more looks, and Stunners are definitely struggling to be ready for all those different serves.
Yeah, yeah. High, big blocks here for Pythons in the front row. Let's see if they can get one. Misconnection in the middle. Point Pythons.
Miscommunication. Beamer was looking for a back 1. Hard to tell exactly what happened, whether it was – you have to imagine out of a set piece like serve receive, that was an audible from Beamer that didn't get registered, because you wouldn't think that otherwise would get a misconnection like that.
Yeah. Ivan Fernandez here with the float serve out of bounds. Let's see if they can keep that that cap at 2 for the set.
Yeah,
for missed serves.
Halfway there.
Halfway there. It's 3-3. A lot of work to do. Shane here with a nice float. Amari with the back set to Jair. Jair again with the misconnection. No touch on that, Jair. I'm sorry, buddy. No touch on that. Chaparro listening to Jair here to challenge this call.
And completely overruling Giovanni, who saw that was definitely...
Yeah.
The worst thing, in my opinion, is to just take the hitter, because, you know, there's sometimes a little quick ego associated with, like, you think you got something. Let one of your guys that was covering you maybe had a different vantage point, because that ball was almost a foot over the block. That was going up still.
Yeah. I certainly didn't see a touch here. Like you said, ball went up from Jair's hand, not really into the block at all. Maybe he saw something that we didn't see, you know.
You just, for the first time, experienced that there's a floor mic down there, and that fed in your ears. I got the same look from Vanderbeek. We heard some talking, and he kind of had that. So that's what's feeding in. Yeah,
that's good, because with the headphones in, you can't really hear much of the chirping and stuff like that. Like it's hard to, you kind of have to lip read a little bit. So it's nice to have that mic down there, kind of get those.
A little bit more what's going on. The highlight of it all. I keep talking about it because, you know, you never know who tunes in, but one of my favorite moments of the weekend was Tyler Hubbard-Neal in the Ramblers match against Exposure yesterday. He had a calf cramp that you could look at it. His calf couldn't relax. It was fully just like loaded up, and he was rolling around down here with the trainer trying to stretch it out, but he was in a ton of pain. But it's a cramp, so you're kind of like laughing about it, but he was definitely turning this into a non-family friendly broadcast, so we had to quickly make some adjustments. But it was pretty funny watching him really just in the moment trying to get it all sorted out.
Yeah, that's some good insights there.
Teammates running over with bananas and Gatorades, and he said he accidentally crushed the banana in his hand before he even got to eat it. It was pretty bad.
We see here Ricky Vega getting some assistance. There you go, yeah.
That one's over the top. No surprise. We go to 5 for 5 from the broadcast booth.
Yeah, you see Ricky over there getting some assistance by Lisa, which was actually the trainer when I was at USC. She was our.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was the trainer for the men's team when I was down there. So she's helping us out here with the NVA. It was awesome.
I don't think that I agree with that.
That's a bad call. Yeah, he was on his side.
Unfortunately, all things, just so our fans were, that's not challengeable. If you get called for the over, that is a judgment call. And
yeah, we have a great view from here. And
that was
on his that was on their side, on Amari's side, and he touched it just on his side as well.
Yep.
There you go. Ball don't lie, Nick.
Yep. You know it. You said it. We knew every guy down there. Sometimes it's said seriously, sometimes very tongue-in-cheek. You know there was a bunch of guys kicking the ground, a little upset saying it to themselves right there.
Yeah. Here comes Jair. Let's see what mood he's in.
Ace or error kind of, we'll have to see.
You can always count on a big hit, though.
There it is. That's the thing. You watch enough matches from enough players, you know exactly what's about to happen. Everyone's a lot of creatures of habit.
Yeah. A lot of, you hang around, you watch matches like you said, and you get to know guys. And obviously, Jair's been playing the NVA for a long time, so we know how he operates. Damani here with the quick toss and the fast arm swing for a great serve on Orlando Santiago here.
Also, a quick kind of state of the game moment to realize, I think Chaparro's lost 2 challenges already. So I think he's down to just 1, if I'm not mistaken.
I'll tell you what, I don't think that was his fault on the second one. His team tried to say, hey, Jair, they did not touch that ball, and Jair still was adamant that they did.
Also, I'll blame Chaparro. Jair cannot initiate a challenge.
That's true. That's also true.
Chaparro capitulated there, and sometimes you got to tell the big guy, hey, it's 4-4. Let's just take a moment. We're okay.
Off the net pass.
Very, very over. And when I say very over, I think his foot was more on the front half of that line than the back half.
I think both of his feet were on the line there.
I've seen some reds that were further back on the contact point than that one was for Damani. Giovanni.
Good serve. I can play here. See, I don't see that. I don't understand that. I don't understand why Amari would commit with the middle here.
And it's also Grant. Like, we've seen Shamer thump 2-3 balls so far, but even then we haven't seen a middle take that over. Olivier's cooking right now. And
yeah, I mean, if he's trying to help and he's reading, I can understand that.
He in set 1, 5 points, 10 attempts, no blocks, no errors. I mean, you got to give some respect.
Yeah. Damani here with a little delayed reaction on that dig. Let's see if Ismail can get something going with the Pythons here.
I'm just realizing Stunners scored 21 points in attack, and they had 2 aces with 1 block. So they earned – that means that Pythons is playing virtually error-free volleyball.
Yeah.
But Stunners earned almost every single point. That's a pretty rare stat to see.
Ooh. Nice little fake set there by Amari. On set on 2, finished by Tanner.
Tanner Wood's a guy that plays a ton of beach. Very prolific outdoor player, and he lives in the chaos front row like that. I mean, that is beach, and so he's ready always to send that ball over the net. Maroki hits that hybrid. Backside to Santiago. Jets that one into Olivier. I do like that Pythons, Santiago been a little up and down, but that shouldn't be a surprise. We all know how it goes. He's a volume hitter. You need to keep giving him sets. 2-3 misses, that's okay. You got to keep giving him that opportunity.
Yeah, you got to trust your guy, and you got to give him some confidence too. Shy away from him, he might start making even more mistakes,
Yep.
And I think Jair, his service, when he's serving, it kind of depends on how he's doing on attack.
Right.
So if he's being able to get a couple kills here and there and he's feeling confident, he's going to go back there. He's going to try to hammer one for the team. But when he's not doing well on attack and he's not receiving the balls,
that's where he
struggles.
That one was definitely the correct call.
Yeah. Ball was definitely on top of the tape there.
We saw a little bit of visual and verbal frustration on that one.
Nasser here with the missed serve. If you're going to miss a jump serve, might as well crank it.
Yeah, and send it long. Don't miss. Don't ever miss short. Send it long.
Orlando here with the nice float. That's right. Oh, wow.
That's a double contact. Ball was blocked into Beamer, and then he played it up.
That was a good commit there by Yvonne.
That was exceptional. I mean, he popped immediately. That was a true definition of a full commit block.
You don't want to see that. You don't want to see that.
Your boy just worked to earn, I mean, getting a middle one-on-one in that block. That happens once a set at best.
Yeah,
follow that up with a missed float serve, and that just.
And I feel like volleyball is such a momentum game.
Oh yeah.
You know, you just got a big block. Your team is, you know. And then again, Tanner again with the missed serve here. But I was saying volleyball is such a big momentum game. Your team just got a big block. Give your team another chance to go out there and do it again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially if you're just popping a float serve in, you got to make sure you make that.
George Mencia is the king of, I want to see you beat me. He refuses to make errors. Serving, free balls going over, whatever it is. He would rather a guy get a kill swinging against him.
Ooh. You can't challenge that, though.
That's not challengeable. That's.
Let me talk to the referee, please. Don't yell at me. Don't yell at me. Don't yell at me.
Little discussion going on here. Ignacio, I thought, you know, like you said, Nick, that's not challengeable. I thought that was a pretty up and down set. I don't think he reached over the net for that.
And the other thing is it's not just like the ball over the plane. It's even 1% over the net. I'll be honest, I think that's a makeup call because that was a pretty big miss. I mean, Beamer was still well on top of that. You have to imagine that the ref didn't like his first call.
Yeah, he's been calling that pretty tight. He's been calling that really tight. These over calls.
Yeah.
Where it's just like we didn't think that Amari's was over either.
That's what I'm saying. I think this was a bit of a makeup call. That
exactly.
But Beamer answered quickly with that back one right there. Another just thump. He wasn't going to have any of it. But that's exactly who Shane is. He'll let you know what he's thinking, but at the same time, he's not going to be outdone by a lack of, just, that one didn't go my way.
Yeah.
Alomar with some good help, but this is going to be a tight ball. There's a net from Maroki's left hand. A hustle for Puerto Rico.
Yeah, that was a good hustle there.
I saw left hand for Maroki coming down on the net as they kind of deflected that one back.
Did you? Okay, yeah. I thought, Giovanni kind of
it all happened simultaneously because Giovanni went low into the net as he kind of turned.
Yeah. Because he approached far away from the net, jumping into the net.
Yeah.
So that always scares me where the player does that instead of getting his feet to the net and jumping up. When the ball's tight and you're jumping forward, that's always a
pretty good indicator that there's probably about to be a net. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Jair here with a more control serve. Good for the Pythons. See that? I think that sometimes Jair, he can hit it 60-70%. It's still
and that's
a great
still
serve.
120% of what the average person hits.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to be a little more consistent here. Pythons need to do a better job controlling these off-speed balls too that are given by the stunners.
Yeah.
To take advantage of these counterattacks. Jair again. Not so lucky this time.
Tanner Woods, dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. So much of the time as an outside, you're thinking about where do I need to be? What's my footwork look like? Platform angle. That one, run away. Just dive out of the way. Don't get hit. Jair got hit last night. Did you get a chance to see the All-Star game?
Oh, yeah. But the serve by
Felix Chapman.
From Chap. Yeah, that's right.
That was
that was unfortunate.
Content.
That was unfortunate for Jair for sure.
This one's kept alive by pursuit. Oh my goodness, open hand dig, step close. Olivier rolls over the top. Santiago gets that one. He's gonna get a swing. He's clean on the D ball and beats Hui Ding out there in the back row.
That was a great pickup by Jair, but again, you want to see him. You want to see that touch being better.
Yeah, you've been saying it over and over. Give me one more step. That's the third time I've heard that sentiment just ring so true. He just kept getting lower and shrugging more and hoping the platform would reach, and kind of got bailed out by the fact that he's 6'10".
Yeah, but then when oh my God, you can't be doing. That's just tough. That's just tough for the Pythons here. You get a good defense and you turn the ball and you go back to the serve and you miss a float serve. It's like. That's just depressing. And again, miscommunication here by the passing line. That's where the Puerto Rican team needs to kind of come together there a little more, you know.
Yeah, and it was funny. You kind of mentioned the adjustment off the tape for Jair, set number 1 where he got that ace down the line.
Yeah.
Very similar here. When you get that slowdown, sometimes the guys assume whoever's seam responsibility that is, maybe the better passer of the two can kind of clear out of the way because it's an easier ball now.
Yeah.
And that's where you'll see guys just stop and kind of look at each other.
Yeah, yeah. And as a libero, you want to be aggressive and,
Yeah.
and take control of the passing line, you know, and you want to be the guy that if somebody's moving, you're the one that's moving.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Even if it is seams left there, if you can reach to your right and pass that ball out of your current stance,
Yeah,
you
that
just
ball
take
was
that ball.
was slow enough for him to make a move for it. Instead, if they kind of just, like you said, they just look at each other. Where, to me, my libero is always responsible for that ball.
Well, and we aren't also lucky to have Jose Malero in the backcourt. Jose Malero is pretty special with that.
Yeah, getting his first NVA kill last night.
Yep. He's got plenty of aces already statted with the 2022 NBA All-Star game under his belt, but last night officially statting that one and then promptly subbed himself out.
Yeah, he's like, one and done for me. I'm hitting 1,000.
Yep.
Let's see if Spencer can get a good serve in out of the timeout. Good toss.
Ooh. Technical timeout. I don't know who you attribute that one to, but whoever runs that technical timeout, the rule book, the league, the game gets the better. That's a coach point for them.
Yeah.
Spencer cooled down a little bit too much. Alamar's done a nice job continuously putting that ball in so far.
I was gonna see if good block by Amari again with the joust. Oh, that's Giovanni with the good pass. Jair again with a nice line shot.
Wow. I'm having a little bit of trouble seeing exactly what the block, like kind of where the block is to allow that to keep going.
Yeah.
But, okay, now you're at the point, we always say, like, leave him line. If he hits it once, good for him. If he hits it twice, now we start to talk.
Yeah.
We're starting to talk.
Yeah.
Santiago's kind of blowing that one alive now. You gotta start making some adjustments.
Yeah, good pass by Spencer. Flipped all the way back. He's over. Damani's over again.
That's some of that discipline that we talked about earlier. That's the part that, you know, where physicality meets discipline for him. He's capable of kind of jumping and hitting anything, but he's got to stay clean on the footwork. And with that, Pythons take a 1-point lead, 17-16.
Mo with a nice serve inside the court. Back one action. So we got to be ready on defense.
I like that we're seeing a lot of these back ones. We haven't seen too many in general, but that's Beamer's scored on 2 or 3, Maroki on 1 or 2, and Python's middles aren't quite seeing it.
Yeah. Good pass by Orlando. Back to him. Ooh. I didn't see a touch on that.
Nope. I mean, and also you look at Roberts. You're hitting a Nacho, like the smallest guy out there, so, you know, unless it's a pretty convincing one, you probably hit over him.
Yeah. Score tied here, 18-18, or?
Yeah, I believe so. There was, I think, some discussion about it, but that.
Nice recovery. Ooh.
Oh, my.
Nice.
Pacheco. He's so cheeky with it. I love that. Covered. Turns it right into a bump set in. But, I mean, that is also a lot of credit to Fernandez in the middle looking for it, because that is a heads-up play.
Yeah, that is for sure. That's the word that I was looking for. That was a great heads-up play, Nick. Nice little off-speed lefty serve. Damani keeping the distance, but couldn't get that ball over the net. Maybe that ball is left a little bit short on the set. Ignacio here trying to change the rhythm of the game.
Players like that, you know, some of the younger guys that are still kind of developing, and maybe not younger in age, but in some of the experience playing at higher level. Because I know Damani graduated a while ago, and as the NVA became more prevalent in the Orange County area, he kind of got back into it. The big thing that I always want to see players like that doing is working more with their feet in the approach line. Like if he had seen that ball is inside, he was on a standard approach line. He didn't identify that ball is going to be dying. I can cut my approach line off 2 feet more, cut it inside, come a meter inside on that, and now maybe it's on my shoulder. And I've kind of seen that. You see that on outsides a lot, that don't work with their feet and try to fix with their shoulder.
Yeah. That's a nice set here by Amari, leaving Orlando Santiago in a one-on-one situation. He's able to get that kill cross court. Good set by Amari. Better finish by Orlando.
Pretty creative offenses. Everyone definitely moving around a lot pin to pin right now, keeping middles involved.
Next set by Tanner. Jair with the high block, out of bounds by Tanner.
I think Stunners are kind of rushing the game right now. I feel like the game's happening to them. They're not kind of playing in the moment. It's just quick serve, and they're not taking that breath. Something that sometimes they struggle with is they kind of fall into that rhythm real quick. So I do love this timeout. Get them to all take a breath, kind of get back into the moment and figure out what's going to work. Because I think that also sometimes Nacho Roberts, when it's not working, sometimes you want to give your guy that setback and that respect.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a little forced. Now you've added another double error on there, and it's kind of take a breather. Who's where? What do we have in that lineup? Because right now you've got Maroki front row. You know, if you get that good pass, he's been swinging well, find him first. Otherwise, use the outside and kind of just succeed 1 point at a time, build yourself back in.
Yeah, they should be able to take care of this pass here with Orlando just popping the serve in. Spencer's been doing a nice job using his hands here, so hopefully he can activate the middle with Shane. Shane's been crushing balls, so.
But also, I want to see the passers, you know, if they're identifying this is being popped in, you should be standing 14 feet with your hands. I don't know why they're so deep and getting jammed up short.
Yeah.
There it is.
With the back set again. Oh.
Good control, high line.
Good placement there by Tanner.
And now he's got an opportunity to serve. Tanner was already a dad, but just added 2 more to the Army. He had twins about 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, I remember event number 4. His significant other was pregnant.
Yep.
And she definitely had twins in there.
Yeah. We had a little wild Stunners exhibition match that we did, and they were born, if I'm not mistaken, on Thursday, and he showed up on Saturday to play the match. How that worked out, that's a shout out to Mom.
Yeah, for sure.
He was pretty
Maybe
light.
Some grandparents.
Yeah, he was pretty light on the warm up and pretty quick on the cool down, in and out real fast. But it was cool to see him in there all the same.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's good for him. That's going to be a lot of fun raising them twins.
I think he's got 3 now total, if I'm not mistaken.
Shane here. Let's see if Shane can get a little ace. Maybe I'll call a little tape ace here. See if I'm right.
Python's definitely also with the offensive front row they want in this situation in the game.
Ooh. Oh, Damani with the missed opportunity. Ismail off the block.
That's tough, too, because I don't know how you really defend that one much better. Maybe just kind of hands and try to redirect, but if you don't meet it on the net, it maybe rolls over on your side, and you're going to net trying to kind of play that up almost.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to give the other team a free ball after a pass like that, you know.
Yeah.
So let's see if Jair can get it done here for the Pythons again.
That one's long.
I think we kind of jinxed them with the serves here where they only missed 2 in the first set. I think they're about 6 or 7 on this one.
Yeah, it's going to average out to a pretty standard 5 missed serves per set after this one, I'm thinking.
Yeah. Good pass by Pacheco. Jair with the stuffed block.
It's also funny because I sit here and just harp on missed serves, so fans at home know how I feel about them. And it's been great having a team rep now from Freedom, Exposure, Tyrants, Ramblers. Everyone comes up and just goes, oh, miss serve, miss serve, miss serve. Stunners, yeah. Nick West has been up here. Almost half the league this weekend has cycled through having representatives up here. So for everyone at home, trust me, we hate it too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's definitely – I love how everybody's having how the league is giving an opportunity for the team reps to come up here and some of the players and for them to be able to experience what you guys are experiencing too. And, like, this is my first time doing it. And obviously, there's a little bit of a learning curve, you know. But it's definitely very, very interesting how you see the game a different way when you're commentating it.
Oh, you 100% do. And I have to say, this is where I've learned more about the game almost than anything, is because I see every team. I see every player, play styles from 14 different countries.
Yeah.
And again, I watch almost every one of the 60 matches live.
Yeah.
And I was also talking with Vanderbeek. There's a big difference between watching a match and then when you talk about every nuance and intricacy. Here's a nuance and intricacy. That is a feat of accuracy to hit a float serve into the pin.
Oh, wow. We were just talking about it, Nick, and it happened again. I feel like we kind of jinxed him into missing that serve for the set for Pythons. But, man, thank you for having me here, Nick. This has been great. Hopefully I can come back anytime soon.
Oh yeah, we're always looking for some good-looking jaw lines. You know, first place in the national conference. Obviously, you and the boys know what you're doing out there in that fierce orange color. So we'll see you guys coming back. The boys no match today, obviously, and you're going to come back, battle it out, play Puerto Rico Python. So maybe stick around, see a couple more points. And like you said, you played with 6 of them. You know what's coming. So get those guys ready, and everyone's excited to see it. Once again, thanks so much for stopping by. We're going to have Vinny Rodriguez from the Ramblers stopping in now. But, man, really appreciate you stopping in. Always a pleasure.
Appreciate it, Nick. Here comes Vinny Ramblers.
Vinny Ramblers himself. We'll take a quick breather. We'll be back for set number 3 in 2 minutes' time. And back into the action, set number 3. Once again, massive shout out to Texas Tyrants owner Gianluca Grasso. Great to get a bunch of insight for him. And we could have just one owner, but instead we're going to go ahead for 2, double down for the Las Vegas Ramblers. We got Vinny Rodriguez, joined me yesterday, joining me once again here today. And that swing goes long for Tanner Woods. Vinny, thanks for hopping on.
Hey, couldn't be happier. 2 days in a row.
2 days in a row, we love it. Also, pretty funny, we were chatting a little bit about our 2020 Ramblers time, and I realized that this broadcast is just a callback to when all 3 of us were all under one banner, and now we're all growing growing our wings, spreading out and leaving the nest. Oh, Santiago blocks that back into the face of Tanner Woods.
I was hoping you guys would mention that. It's not a common knowledge that Gian was on the original Ramblers team.
Yeah.
Before he took over the Texas Tyrants.
Yeah, we were shouting out that Kendall Ratter was there and then was out of the league for a few seasons, making his return. So a lot of names kind of cycling back from that squad.
Absolutely. Great to see him back in the league.
We know that your poor Gert Leisha still has a little bit of PTSD from 3.5 million views of getting his hands targeted from Kendall standing on the ground. But
yes. I think I still have PTSD from having to watch that over and over again, as if the first time wasn't enough.
Well, that's a nice pass. Quick set into the middle. Fernandez accelerates that ball beautifully. This is the most active we've seen the middles from Puerto Rico in a long time, and something we've been a little critical of, just seeing them get that kind of connection established.
Yeah, I remember I was actually on the last Pythons
match
yesterday, and I came on around the same time, and that's something that we definitely talked about. They weren't as effective, but it looks like this match they've really put an emphasis on running the middle of the court.
Yeah, and just so you know, if Ismail Alamar is missing serves, it's strictly because you're broadcasting, because he's been on it today. He didn't miss any. He's been playing some great ball. So any deterrence or deviation from that, it is your fault strictly. Ismail, I got your back, buddy.
I've been his curse. Another server that's been doing a great job is Tanner Woods. Extremely consistent, putting pace on the ball.
And just after we talked about the middle, Fernandez once again scoring there. The serve reception, though, is what's really the standout part of this. When we look across at the Puerto Rico Pythons, they're passing at an impressive 52%. Stunners has picked it up substantially, that 23% turning into a 40% positive reception. Both of these teams, though, staying in that very positive category. Plus 13 for the Stunners, plus 11 for Pythons.
Beamer's having himself a match.
Oh, yeah.
He looks really fresh, really springy, getting on top of the ball.
Let's see, right now he's got 6 kills on 10 attempts. He's been blocked twice, 1 error, but still hitting it right around, that's a 60% clip even. Beamer can't quite find that one from Giovanni.
Looks like the block just floated past him a little bit, gave up a lot of angle.
Yeah, so this is the thing that keeps tricking me is as I've had a kind of a rotating door of co-broadcasters. Sometimes I'll have the second one come on and say something, and my initial reaction in my head is, yeah, no, we just talked about this. And I think that then speaks to the players. That was something Gian and I were talking about quite a bit is the Stunners haven't been disciplined covering angle on the front row outsides. They've been really getting beat quite badly, actually, and they've got to shore that one up. Ginas rolls that one over. Huiding back. Olivier off the block. Push to the middle. Alamar and Damani Lenore with a pump fake. Wait, what?
Yeah, he wanted to play that one because it last touched Grant Maroki off the block. Not sure why he let that one go. Got a little confused there.
I think he just saw it going out of bounds.
The natural reaction on your side when it's going out of bounds
Yeah.
is your guy hit it off their block, I guess.
Right, yeah. I mean, that's where my brain went. That's why I didn't understand what happened either. I was, again, this is why I love having 2 people, because you're going, yeah, duh. I'm over here lost in the sauce about what just happened. So good heads-up play. Well, from you, good heads-up acknowledgement. Terrible heads-up play there. Olivier sends that one long, but gets the touch.
Looks like the Python, something I talked about them yesterday, was getting the digs but not being super efficient in transition. It looks like they're starting to tighten that up.
Yes.
And they look very crisp executing.
I'm glad how that statement ended. I was going to say they've done a phenomenal job really finding ways to end points, and it's honestly not just been on the back of Jair Santiago.
Yeah.
The middles right now are doing a fantastic job just kind of spreading things out. We talked a little bit how they had the injury also with number 5 from Ricky Vega, who's having a stellar match yesterday, but everyone kind of pitching in, doing very well. Nice little throwdown there from Maroki, getting almost all the way into that zone 4, kind of pulling the defense cross court, brings that tip inside of Jair, but of course way far away from all the other diggers. So
That's a Long Beach middle. The training that he's getting in that gym as a middle is envied by many.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Thank God there's not termites in the floor, or else Santiago would have put that one straight through it.
He is in rhythm right now. I would keep feeding the big fella. Because if I didn't say it enough last broadcast, give that man the ball. See if Alomar could put some pressure with his serve here and overcome my jinx being on the broadcast. I knew that was coming.
You can't write it.
Knew that was coming. Once I said it and it left my lips, knew that was going to be a miss.
Where are we at here? Ismail had 6 serves so far with no errors, no aces, but just a consistent server. Vinny Rodriguez steps on.
That one's on me.
That's all out the window. Heads up play by Woods. Spence Olivier is going to take this. Tight once again. There's a net, though, on the side of the Pythons. Yep, Amari Miranda caught that one. It was a little too tight. I think Fernandez even maybe bumped him into it.
Yeah, that looked a little sloppy on the side of the Pythons on that block.
Maroki hammers the ball. Santiago is a man on a mission. It feels like there might as well be no blocker up. They've been so lost on where to be for him.
Yeah, he's hitting with range too. I mean, he's hitting down the line with power. He's coming angle with it. They really don't know what to do with him right now.
No. And sometimes I'm a big fan of when you have him back, like when you have a back row blocker, bring that front row outside just even with the setter, front him, help commit on a middle, especially for guys that have been doing well as the Pythons middle have been. If you've got a D-ball going off like this, it's good on your man. You're 4 feet left. You're basically fronting his attack line. You've got to start respecting that.
I couldn't agree more. Normally the default is to do what you're saying and kind of chase the D-ball, but with someone like Jair back there, you have to be good on your guy and take care of him.
Zodovic has made an appearance. I didn't quite see this one, so we saw there's a double sub here. Calvin Sanborn is number 2 coming in on the right side. He's a lefty, normally an outside hitter, but looking for a little double sub adjustment between Logan Zodovic.
Former
Sanborn.
OCC Pirate, Calvin Sanborn.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Roll shot deep, getting sliced and diced up in here. Puerto Rico is just in full flow mode right now. They're feeling it.
Yeah, that's that energy and enthusiasm we talked about a little bit yesterday. It looks like they're finding that Puerto Rico rhythm that we love to see.
What a set off the back foot. Logan Zodovic, someone that hasn't played a match in quite a while, kind of being used intermittently, to go off his back foot, find a 26-foot set, not in the net. I mean, that was disciplined.
It takes a lot of body control, especially when on the bench for most of this set, or match, I should say.
And Woods misses that one. All right, got to stem the bleeding here just a little bit. 3 is certainly not anything to be overly concerned about, but if you continue with the status quo, there's going to be problems for Stunners.
Absolutely. They want to, kind of stop the bleeding here, maybe get one back on defense.
Olivier way early on that set. Santiago roll, recycle, covers himself. No way that was over. There's been, I don't know if you've seen him, there's been a couple questionable over calls. One on Beamer, I think, was a bit of a makeup call for the first one of Amari Miranda, which was not over either.
Yeah.
So
there's been some tough ones, some judgment calls. To me, it reminds me of the charge and blocking call in basketball.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a judgment by the referee. Luckily, he has the best angle in the house.
Wow, Beamer. Oh, good save and a pickup. Free ball opportunity,
Big
Shane
turn here.
Beamer, nicely done. And now Olivier hammers that one down. I really like when middles understand that they have replaced the libero, and with that, you have taken on their responsibility. Free ball coming back, Beamer at a full sprint, there early, calling guys off, and then delivers a perfect pass. It's a basic fundamental skill, but he just executed it perfectly.
Absolutely. Love to see the big fellas go back there and show they could play some defense as well.
And there it is. Once again, that same spot. Make an adjustment, guys. Defense, shift back 2 feet to your right when you're there. Block, step in. I mean, if that's what's getting hit, you're missing your block mark by a full body width, essentially.
I think the right front blocker needs to do a better job of setting that inside a little bit. Moroki's working hard to drift out there into the closing the block, but the block's just too far out, and he's getting beat on his left hand.
Oh, my goodness. Jair Santiago went from moments of brilliance to kind of hanging around to, okay, guys, hop on the back. Papa Santiago is here, and we are going to play some volleyball.
He's absolutely taking over this match right now. They have no answer for Jair, whether it's front row, back row, or from the service line.
14 kills, 3 aces at the end of the second set. Since then, he's added 3 or 4 more kills, now an ace. He's almost putting up 5 or 6 points a set right now.
And we're just about halfway through this thing.
There's plenty of space to go here. This would be a massive win. I mean, Stunners are on a huge tear right now, looking like one of the best teams in the league.
Absolutely.
And if Pythons can come in, that kind of puts some respect on the name. You got to be a little concerned.
Absolutely, and I think I said it yesterday that the Pythons are not a fun draw in that first round. I know the Tyrants did a great job this season. They are an absolute team to be reckoned with, but I would not want to draw these Pythons teams right now with the depth that they have.
I don't think anyone looks across, honestly, for personal reasons on some. I don't think anyone looks at their first round matchup and feels particularly great about it.
No. Just kind of a testament to the way the league is scaled this year, and there's so many good teams, and you know you no longer have a gimme in that first round if you take care of business in the regular season.
But there's also like just kind of the story that unfolded of like Stingers Wild 1-1 split. They reverse swept us after we 3-0'd them event 1. Right. You guys in Matadors currently 1-1. They handed you your first loss. You know, there's just been so many little oddities. Freedom Stunners is we are just seeing constant. But that Freedom Stunners, that was a quarterfinal rematch from last year where Freedom, undefeated season, come in first round, get knocked out.
Yep.
And they're going to run it back.
Yep.
And it's just, it's crazy because Pythons almost took Freedom down. Yep. So, you know, you were right at that point that we were all talking about Stunners Freedom, Stunners Freedom. Pythons almost came into this weekend potentially going 2-0.
They're playing, and that's what you want to do, right? You want to be playing your best volleyball at the end of the season going into that last playoff event.
You just need one of those 4 spots. That's all that matters.
Yep. And to Stunners' credit, I think they are one of those teams that is playing their best volleyball at the right time.
Yep.
This match kind of excluded. Against us, the Ramblers in Event 4, they were extremely efficient.
Yes. It is also worth noting that there isn't anything on the line here, per se.
Right.
So there are some guys that are getting some looks, and there's obviously an expectation to perform. But, you know, you see Coach Matt Prosser going to Sanborn. And Sanborn's someone that doesn't really get an opportunity to play much. They didn't even start Hilling. They were giving Damani Lenore the look. So they're kind of giving some of those secondary guys that, of course, you see Olivier out there. You see... But, you know, Beamer and Moroki have kind of competed for that second spot. Nick West not starting here today. So a lot of those kind of like the gimme players, no Corey Chavers out there. So it's kind of been a, you know, it's all right, but let's compete with the pieces that we have.
Absolutely. Might not be the same Stunners team you'll see round 1 of the playoffs, but, you know, nonetheless, still a strong team.
But I do like the roster moves here. You know, Prosser letting some of those guys grow. And
yeah, absolutely. A lot of young guys, too, like Moroki, Sanborn, Olivier. They're all fresh out of Long Beach State.
Yeah, we've been talking about that quite a bit this weekend and earlier with Gian is just how impressive it's been seeing all these young NCAA prodigies, J.R. Norris playing now with the Matadors, and a bunch of those younger guys. We even said Tanner Woods. We all forget that he just graduated out of Vanguard. So NAIA, but, I mean, he national champion.
That's right. That's right.
Got to put some respect on that.
Absolutely.
So, you know, it's been great to see. A lot of these guys over in Puerto Rico kind of younger in their careers, just a couple, pretty young in there, and we've seen some of them continue to get looks from national teams overseas, things like that. So a lot of them also coming into their own.
And they compete. These guys came here to battle all weekend.
Sanborn tips over the top. Giovanni gets the initial touch. Ismail, there's not a lot to do. He's got to really
get on his horse there to get that one back over.
Almost a better chance to try and kick that one over just to for the sheer power.
Graham Maroki back to serve here. Let's see if he can get him another point back. And Jair again delivers. Just no answer for the big fella right now. He is in rhythm.
It's a shooting gallery. It's fish in a bucket right now.
But again, to your point, it looked like left front blocker was late to him there. I think you just have to basically commit on your guy at this point when he's anywhere on the court.
It's crazy, that floor mic. You can hear it thudding just with how aggressive some of these approach lines are. The mic's on the floor in our ears. I don't know how, for the fans at home, I imagine they can. We're hearing a lot of the audio, but it's pushing loud with some of those thuds.
A small bomb going off when Jair hits the ball. This would be the guy you want to get you back in this set if you're the Stunners. The serving sub for Long Beach State the last couple years, Calvin Sanborn, can absolutely whip the ball from the service line and proven point scorer. Does a good job there, gets a free ball back.
Little bit of a bailout. For as good as Pythons is playing the game, we don't want to see them lose the handle committing technical errors like that.
Yes. So definitely a play you don't want to give away. It was a good touch on the block. It's unfortunate to get the net there.
Sanborn catches the line. His role at Long Beach State, that nice lefty topspin guy that you can look to in dire moments, put him on the court, see what he can make happen, and apparently in the NVA, nothing different.
Absolutely. Big fan of Calvin Sanborn and his game. As I said, he spent a year at OCC before going to Long Beach State. He was a stud for that team. And
just misses that one long, but that's a good miss. Close. That's a good miss.
He got him too. Did his job.
Now you see another lefty topspin. Or apologies, Orlando's got the floater. I was looking at Amari, who's 9. Shane Beamer punches that one through, and Fernandez and Santiago both throwing as many possible hands to try and get a ball to pop.
They may have touched that 5 times.
Yeah. A little bit of a juggling circus act going on between those two down there.
Another good server here, Tanner Woods. See if he can put some pace on it. Great pass.
Ginas. Oh.
Wow. Great play by Dean.
Oh, my goodness. Is that the first ever NVA kick kill?
It might be. It might be. Great play by Ding, showing off his soccer skills.
And that's going to be a timeout at 19s apiece. And again, that's a point that definitely worth 2 or 3, to be honest, because Stunners, all of a sudden, lighthearted, laughing, celebrating the libero.
Absolutely.
Pythons, fingers coming up, pointing. A lot of disappointment, a lot of trepidation, and you're trying to get the boys to kind of dial right back in. So that one was a huge blessing there.
Yeah,
the fact that
I didn't know if that would get back over the net, let alone score a point. I'm not really sure what happened. Miscommunication there. It looked like the middle was running a route that the setter wasn't familiar with.
I think that he went for a push 1. I think the setter was seeing him on a 3, and so he looked like he tried to connect. Again, we're so straight on that we don't have great depth perception to see that really, but I think he was kind of viewing that route as a quick pop out for an 8-foot delivery, caught him at 4 and just launched it over his head.
That makes sense.
Now someone at home is going to have the ability to go watch that back on YouTube. Like, this guy's an idiot. That's not at all what happened. So feel free to correct me, but that's what I thought I saw.
We've all been wrong.
And that one goes long. Coaching point for David Chaparro. He has one more timeout this set. Also, he's down to one challenge. He burned 2 early, so there is a limited amount. And considering that we're still going to have another set after this one, he better hope he doesn't need one anytime soon.
Right.
Good cover by Beamer. Zodovich.
That was beachy.
Oh, very beachy. The one, if I'm not mistaken, the one UCI product currently playing in the league from my alma mater. Gotta love that little zot. Zip that one into zone 1.
This is a cheeky play. Zodovich. Jair delivers again.
He's just automatic.
It's almost becoming repetitive.
Yeah, we need a little sound clip. Kill 14, Santiago.
See if he could keep that rhythm here going back to the service line. Don't want to see an off speed here from Jair. I want to see him go rip this thing.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah. Sanborn gonna have to try and fix this one. Oh my goodness, Pacheco. A similar problem that we saw a couple times for Utah last game, when all of a sudden you get some of your best defensive players all on the court at once.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a little powwow about just who's going to take that ball.
Always love guys being aggressive on defense. Probably want to let the guy in the different color shirt take that one.
Woo, big kill for Alomar.
Great answer. With the way they've been able to score with Alomar, would love to see a Bic over the top at some point here in this set. With him up early and on time, they're going to have to respect him now. Free up that Bic hitter. Great pass.
Oh, Grant Maroki, 28. Not to be outdone there. Puts a thump on that one.
Spencer from the service line. Great pass. Santiago with the tool. Let's see Alomar lift the curse here and put the ball. There we go.
Ooh, nice dig. Opportunity, Santiago's gonna swing. Oh,
He's human.
He only just so.
Looks like he missed that one. I see him slapping his wrist. I think he just miscontacted that ball. Big side out here for the Pythons. Get Grant Maroki off the service line. Go back to see if they could win this win this set, excuse me. Good pass. Go right back to the big fella, and he delivers. Love that repeat to Jair. First mistake he's made in a while. Give it right back to him. Oh.
Well, we were singing his praises earlier on the discipline. That one too tight. Zodovich catches the jersey on the net there as he backs into it. Puerto Rico Pythons will take that one 25-23 and a 2-set-to-1 lead. Set number 4 will be coming right back here. Don't go anywhere. Vinny Rodriguez and Nick England coming to you courtside here from Long Beach City College. This is set number 4, Puerto Rico Pythons OC Stunners match number 60 of the regular season of the NVA 2023 season. With this match ending, so too will the season. And that means just one more event in 3 weeks' time. July 28th, 29th, and 30th. We'll be alive for the 8-team championship weekend. That will be structured with 4 matches on Friday, 2 on Saturday for the semifinals, and 2 more on Sunday. Every team that has qualified is definitely competing and hoping that they're not dropping a first early loss, because it's a long weekend to sit around wishing you had done whatever you didn't get done on the court.
Absolutely. I think every owner, coach, staff, player's fear going into that playoffs is losing on that first day and having to watch the next 2.
Yeah, we've been talking nonstop about it. Another quick rundown real quick before we get underway from the National Conference. The first place Texas Tyrants will play the 4th place Puerto Rico Pythons. The 2nd place OC Stunners will play 3rd place New Jersey Freedom. And on the American Conference, the 1st place Las Vegas Ramblers will square off against the Inland Empire Matadors. And the 2nd place San Diego Wild will play the 3rd place Utah Stingers. Times to be announced. It will be your standard 9, 12, 3, and 6 o'clock. And with that, we're underway. A float serve from Zodovic, dug by Olivier here. Another opportunity, very tight, and Tanner Woods disciplined. Zodovic left him with very few options on that set.
Yeah, sometimes I think the setters do that on purpose to let their guy go up and just swipe off the block if they think they can go up there and score a point with that. Looks like he might have done. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Also, it's Tanner Woods. This guy is one of the best beach players in the scene, and he's a very, very dynamic guy. That is the name of the game that he's used to playing.
Yep, very controlled player.
Taking a quick look across, we were singing the praises of Santiago. Jair Santiago currently with 20 kills and 4 aces. He's plus 14,
wow.
26 points scored for him so far.
Wow.
In 3 sets. That is more than 8 points a set.
That's what you want from your opposite.
That's an all-time.
Wow.
Oh, my
what
goodness.
What a play by Olivier.
Olivier with the one-handed punch. A block touch slows it down. Zodovic to Sanborn. Sanborn going for that angle. A little bit of a miscommunication. He saw Zodovic get up next to him. He assumes he's going in on that quick one-tempo ball, and has to slow it down when Zodovic trying to buy him some time.
Yeah, that's just one of those system things that they probably haven't quite worked out yet. Let's see if Puerto Rico can turn this one.
He cannot. Tanner Woods. I like that swap. Tanner Woods, one of the most versatile pins for this team. He goes right and left. Sanborn, inherently a left side. He's been playing right side for them. They do a little blocker swap there. So get everyone kind of back into some of the most advantageous positions.
That's the beauty of this Stunners team. Almost all of their pins
are just
can
pins.
play both sides. Yeah, and play it at a high level.
Little back one action there. Fernandez.
Grant Maroki's doing a great job right now, just getting pin to pin. He's closing the block. I know a couple times he's drifted past the hitter, but he is moving quickly across the net and closing the block consistently.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that we've seen, we've had in the gym with us for a long time, and you and I actively have talked about it because we train with Ramblers.
Absolutely.
We talked about, how is a guy like him going to make this transition, because he didn't get a lot of time over
at Long Beach.
Yeah, over Torway and Stinger's middle.
Hold away.
Hold away. And so it was kind of what was his situation going to be like. But I talked also a little bit about how Olivier, I think the narrative around him at an NCAA level isn't reflective of who he can be at the next level. And I think that Maroki is very similar, where even in college, maybe the value for his style of play isn't there. Plug him in with experienced players, he's going to do just fine and maybe even excel far more. Because he is that quick middle. He and Shane Beamer are very similar style.
Yep.
And it's a good look for this Stunners team.
Quick titch, explosive, gets on top of the ball quickly. Shane definitely does that as well. Let's see if they can get him a set here.
Little off speed. Oh my gosh. That ball was spinning.
I don't want to jinx another Pythons player here, but this is the best I've ever seen Jair Santiago play.
For
and
sure.
that's saying a lot because
Yes.
he is a top opposite in this league.
Because the thing is that sometimes we've seen him have excellent performances in one or two capacities of his game. Right now, we are seeing him fire on all cylinders.
He's doing it all. Wow.
Good ball by Woods. Sped up by Olivier. Contacted. There's a chance.
Oh, yes.
Another ball pulled back. Amari Miranda, I would like to see you air that out a little more. Give your boy some time. There's the swing Sanborn's been looking for. That's the lefty swing.
Love to see it. A little tripping through the net, getting warned there. That set to Olivier, same side with tempo. I think that's the one Calvin was looking for a couple plays ago.
Yeah. Sanborn shrugging. He hasn't had a chance to really get out and stretch his wings too much, so he's wanting to get his name talked about a little bit.
Absolutely. Great serve.
Jainis. And there it is, Sanborn once again. Zodovic says, "Ride the hot hand." Let's see.
Right.
Let's see what he can do. Maybe
It's interesting dynamic when you come in as that backup setter, backup oppo. You kind of have an unspoken agreement. Let's give you the ball. So we're in this together.
I'm in your one, you're in the two. Let's do it
Yes.
together.
Yes, and they're making it work right now.
Coach said jump. We're saying how high. Ooh, just left short, but again, a positive +1 prior to the miss. Ginas to serve here. Giovanni's had a very good game so far. Quick set out. Ooh, good soft block there for a recycle. Into the middle, fired quick. Santiago, one-handed dig. Hui Ding takes that. Zodovic runs a marathon, and Olivier takes a rip.
Great step close by Spencer Olivier there. Ball was high and inside. He got his feet there and was able to terminate.
A lot of good communication. He looked directly at Zodovic to ensure that Zodovic was going to be there. Otherwise, Olivier ready to step in, maybe fly that one across to Sanborn. But he knew Zodovic was on the run. He was going to get the swing he wanted.
It's always a tough spot for the outside hitter there in zone 4 when the dig gets pushed there. You don't know whether to set that thing or get off for your transition.
And if you do anything shy of exactly what's expected, everyone thinks you're an idiot.
Yeah. Lose-lose situation for
You
the
go,
outside.
you go and hit the. You play that ball, you kill your setter because he's at a full sprint.
Yep.
You don't take the right far enough step off. Now you're going negative steps. Got to
Right.
run forward. It's
It's a tough spot to be in.
yeah. It's the world we live in.
See if Almar can score a point for the Pythons here. Good touch.
Miranda. Santiago gets that one. Yep. No, he absolutely got that one through. He got a touch above the tape on that.
Yeah, it looked that way. It's kind of an awkward approach there for Jair too.
Yeah, he thought that based on where Amari was, that Amari might be laying that in front of him. And then he had to take that quick last third step, get right back on the the backside there. But
Another one of those tricky plays as a volleyball player for that opposite, not knowing whether you need to go in front of your setter or
Right.
behind them in area 2.
yeah, and I mean, as an outside, we talk about in front behind a lot. As the setter comes across, that's normal discussion for us. That is not a normal backside discussion. In front of you.
Yep, you hope your setter just yells at you in front if he's going to do that.
Like that right there. And Sanborn.
Right on cue.
Sometimes you got to hope that the listener and viewer at home can kind of go with you, extrapolate. You don't have to when you got a nice picture book there.
Yep.
Calvin Sanborn, number 2. Great kill. Enjoying the fact that he's a lefty. Brings him even further inside that block.
Yep.
Ginas with a good pass. Oh, good recovery. Woods head on a swivel. Sanborn again. Recovers. Zodovic. Woods. Nice dig. And that one chiseled off the block by number 8, Orlando Santiago.
It's a great transition swing by Santiago there. Gets his feet to the ball, hits high off the hands, going line, tools the block. against a much bigger block than he's
himself.
used to. Yeah.
Amari with that troublesome lefty spin leaves that one short. Float from Zodovic. Tight ball, and that's going to be called for back row.
Another one of those judgment calls. That was close.
I don't know what you see.
I think it was over. I think that is the right call.
I don't have a good vantage, but that was about as close as they do come. Oh, love that little cheeky play. Ready for it, though, was Puerto Rico. Santiago almost takes the head off on 3 or 4 people. Also, I'm kind of just realizing we haven't really talked much about it. This is one of those grudge matches for Santiago, former OC stunner.
That's
they
right.
Didn't play in the finals last year when they lost in 3 straight sets to Ramblers. So
I think that was 21 that he didn't play. He
no,
played in
last year
22.
Matt Hilling came in and played right side.
Really?
Yeah.
My
And,
memory fails me there.
Yeah, and I think there was kind of a lack of faith a bit. He was kind of what was going to be the right solution. I
Yeah.
remember vividly because Matt Hilling started the match off with started one of the sets off with a red card.
Right.
In the third.
Yeah, definitely a grudge match for Big Jair here. He wants to show the Stunners what they're missing.
Yeah.
Now with him on the side of Puerto Rico.
Now you got me second guessing myself though.
I did. I think I'm right on. I think it was Chavers and Hilling on the outside and Jair on the right. We could go back and check the tape later today.
I gotta know now. now it's killing me.
I think it was 21 where Jair played in the semifinals, and then Hilling took over in the finals. It was Chavers and Joey on the outside the year they beat us, the Ramblers.
Okay, I'm just gonna completely because I'm still not convinced, but it doesn't matter. Back in the action here. Stunners with a 3-point lead. That one is out. Tanner Woods just bangs that ball but misses the line by 7 inches.
Missed opportunity there. Kind of served it up on a platter for him.
Float, look for Maroki on a 3 here. 1-on-1. Tanner gets that one back.
I like the repeat again. Your guy made an error off a decent swing. Give him the ball back. Let him correct that error.
And Logan had every intention. He ran Maroki on a 3-ball to guarantee the middle released. So either the middle goes and he gets 1-on-1 backside, or the middle doesn't go and you feed Maroki.
Yep.
It's just a win-win. Nice pass. Now Santiago. Oh, man, what a dig by Hui Ding. Ginas comes back, taking some big swings.
Seen some great defensive plays by both sides here. Puerto Rico's been playing scrappy all match, and you're seeing that dig off the shoulder.
That was shoulder, yeah, left shoulder.
Almost mirrors his kick dig over the net.
I think if it was his face, we'd know because he probably would still be on the ground.
Yeah.
Good ball, Olivier. Sanborn gets another opportunity and tools that one off.
Sanborn's coming in here and playing some volleyball.
I was going to say, when they brought him in set 3 there, he wasn't quite getting sets to get him warmed up. They were really few and far between, not opportune. I like that he's kind of a part of the offense here.
Yeah, when you come in cold off the bench, you normally want to ease your way into it, maybe get a couple in-system sets before you have to deal with some garbage. It looks like he's getting that now.
That ball's wide. Alomar misses that one.
That was close.
I saw wide. We don't have a great vantage.
Yeah.
So I got to tell you, you're coming in. We are 5 for 5 up here between Beak and Grasso and myself. We haven't missed the call yet on any, whether right or wrong, for any of the last 5 challenges. So we need to have a formal opinion. I'm going that one without.
The gauntlet has been laid down.
Yeah. And again, you've already jinxed Alomar. Are you going to come in here?
I'm trying to right the ship with Alomar. I'm going to say that ball was in. That was a great swing by him.
Okay, so you're going to dig one hole to fill the dirt in the other you've already created.
Basically creating a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah. Replacing that which is not with more of which not.
Exactly.
We're going to get a good look here. Head ref Mike Mon, and this is the third challenge for Puerto Rico. If this goes wrong, they're out of challenges.
Until set 5.
Yeah. But again, they've actually made this last a lot longer because they were out of 2 in the middle of set 1.
Wow.
So they've played 2 and 3 holding on to them, kind of putting them in
They've gotten lucky that they haven't had to
yeah.
challenge much. Yeah.
No clear answer. We're kind of cycling through a variety of cameras based on my very high-level lip reading and point reading from Mike Mon there.
We're super fortunate to have the reffing crew that we have here in the NVA. A lot of guys that have coached at all levels. Excuse me, not coached, but refereed at all levels.
That's an interesting.
Yeah, maybe some of them have coached.
Ball was in. Hey, there you go. Get your boy a little bit. So now we're 6 for 6.
Come on.
The guests are on fire today. Love to see it.
Alomar can thank me for that one later.
If he gets to this part of the broadcast, rewatching it later after hearing you come on board and being the reason he missed the last one, just shuts it off in anger.
That's right. Another bomb from Santiago.
Bumps it out to the right side. Santiago swings and finally stopped. Man, if you're Santiago, you can just shrug that one off and not even worry about it.
Yeah.
OC Stunners, you're celebrating. It feels more like a sigh of relief.
Yeah, and he was kind of left out to dry a little bit on that. That was inside and couldn't do much with that ball.
Not offensively. I mean, he maybe throw it over, you know, but like, I like that swing.
Yeah, go be aggressive. That's what you've been doing all match.
It's worked 26 times so far. Also, right now, Puerto Rico doing a nice job. Kind of vibes are high.
Yeah.
So, you know, keep doing what works.
Yep.
Don't introduce an alternative route that might kind of cool.
Yeah, sometimes when they're down, you see them get down on themselves a little bit, but they're keeping the energy high. Great touch.
Good touch.
You'd like to see that ball picked up. It was a great touch there by Mirando.
Santiago even just owned it. He taps it. That's my bad. He's not in a bad spot, but just a bit shallow given really how good of a touch that was.
That ball was in the air for quite a while. I think you could have ran down there and picked that thing up.
Yeah, I thought you were saying in general. Then you said down there. I thought you were really throwing a low blow there. So I appreciate that it was from up here was the insinuation. Sanborn blocked back. Problems are continuing for him now. Maybe had a little bit of a hot hand, seeing if he can find it again. But Puerto Rico disciplined, right? They got beat a couple times to the angle. Now they've seen, okay, hang on. We got a lefty D ball.
Yeah.
Everyone bring that in.
Yeah, you know, Calvin is a nice player, huge fan of his game. I don't know if he's that big power opposite that you can just give the garbage to and expect him to go terminate those balls.
Shane Beamer moving the tape to get that one through.
Shane Beamer, the overseas and NVA veteran, always knows how to find ways to score.
Yeah.
Former MVP of the Denmark League.
2021, yeah. MVP middle blocker. I believe he was playing in Middelfart.
I believe you're right.
Denmark's been one of those leagues that a bunch of our guys have been able to go cut their teeth.
Yeah, Ryan Mather.
Yeah, Ryan Mather, Matheny, Chris Hall.
Great pass.
Oh, good cover. Santiago step closed.
He struggles a bit with those inside balls.
Yep. And Grasso and I were talking about that earlier as well. One of those kind of things for some of those younger players that's you know, the feet feed the beast. And so that is something really, really important to realize that in those out-of-system moments, more than anything else, if you work harder with your feet, your shoulder is going to have to do a lot less work. And, I mean, obviously, he's such a big guy. But so when those are a meter inside of his approach line, reaching overhead to find that, he's going to drop and lose several feet on his attack height. He's got to get another. And for him, honestly, it's one stride inside that last final step. But working with feet first is what it's all about. It's something you and I talked about a lot when I was still playing for the Ramblers. It was just feet to ball, and you're going to fix a lot of those reaching problems and things like that.
Speaking as a former opposite with a right-handed opposite, those are tough angles to get to when that ball's inside. You know, it's just tough to get your feet all the way there and still be able to contact the ball high, similar to how a lefty would struggle with an inside set to the outside. Still would like to see him manage that a little bit better.
And if you can't, then honestly just send it over.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, little dump. Looking for the hand of Woods. Doesn't get the touch.
Great awareness by Shane Beamer there to let that thing go.
Yeah.
You could tell he wanted to play that. Maybe pad his stats a little bit, give him a dig.
Puerto Rico starting to cool off. Beamer floats. Good pass. Tip over the top. Maroki helps Woods. Well done by Beamer to kind of step in and ensure the play continues. And just like that, Spencer Olivier caught shallow. Fernandez scoring another point there.
It's a good deep swing there by Fernandez. Him and Setter have been struggling a little bit connection-wise, and it's good to see them get on the board there.
Yeah, that's going to be 4 kills on 9 attempts, I believe, with 1 hitting error. So,
not a bad line.
Not a bad line. A little uninvolved considering we're in the middle of deep part of set 4 here.
Great run by Zodovich.
Wow. This is, I mean, it sounds obvious with OC Stunners, but it's funny to watch this superhero team of UCI, Long Beach, and Vanguard. You know, you can throw a tennis ball for how close all those schools are.
Right.
And just these guys all come together with their own little SoCal All-Star team.
Yep. Well, Maroki again, closing the block, getting pin to pin.
He's been so disciplined. He's had several of those SWAT downs that it's very easy to net as you kind of redirect, and he hasn't once. I think it's his 4th one that he's had that just kind of went his way.
Yeah, extremely disciplined to stay out of the net there.
Giovanni Ginas doing a nice job there, tracking that all the way to the line. Good discipline. Orlando Santiago. He's been a smooth operator with that float serve from 5. Gets the better part of Hui Ding there. Good fix by Zodovich. A recycle by Sanborn. This one's got to go. A little bit of a lollipop. Oh, Maroki.
Okay, Puerto Rico chipping away a little bit.
This is the tough part. I think Chaparro, so he's still sitting on 1 challenge and maybe 1 timeout.
Fortunately won that last challenge, so right, he's allowed to keep it.
And there it is, Maroki once again. We've been talking about his involvement.
It's a good read and touch there by Fernandez. Just unlucky that they weren't able to pop that up.
It's been OC Stunners for so long needed a reliable head coach, and Matt Prosser in his 2nd year with this team, it's been great, but also he's a former 49er All-American himself, so he's got a network there that, you know, kind of opens the door to the Long Beach portal, as it were. And that's been massive for this team.
Absolutely.
Very, very massive in the form of 28 Grant Maroki.
Yep. He's putting on a blocking clinic right now, Grant Maroki.
Woods gets a piece of that one. Santiago, not sure what he was looking at. Tensions are high as the score deficit climbs to 7.
Yeah, I think Puerto Rico needs to start thinking about trying to get some momentum back going into set 5 here.
Woods tries to take out Elvin Atley on our line judge there. Quick substitution here. We're going to see number 11, Giovanni Torres, coming in to replace Ivan Fernandez for the serve here. Something we saw them do in set number 3 as well.
Have a good front row here for the Stunners. Row 2.
Oh, tags the back line. Grant Maroki, if anyone else wants to play, let him know. Otherwise, he'll just take it from here. 2 or 3 terminal blocks, 3 kills right there, something like that. That was an impressive 3 rotation middle.
Yes.
I mean,
it's about as good as you'll see.
Yeah. There's only so many contacts you get during that time, and he got dang near all of them. Proceeds to hit that jump serve, too. Oh, there it is. Giovanni from the outside.
Well, if there's one guy that's going to get you back into this thing for 18-24, it's going to be Jair Santiago.
Unfortunately, where his game goes, so too does his serving. And after we talked about how he had 26 points, he's kind of cooled off a little bit. Wonder if this is going to get a chance or nope. That's what I was a bit afraid of.
Nick England jinx right there.
That was more just the fortune telling. I've watched him miss the last couple swings into the net. He's not really moving his feet. There was 2 cover balls. He's just kind of burned out right now,
Yeah,
it looks like.
I was thinking fatigue might be setting in a little bit with how much he's had to shoulder here in these 4 sets.
Yep, so we'll see how this goes in the 5th. Quick race to 15 for our final 60th match of the 2023 season. 2.5-minute break. We're going to catch a breather, and we'll be right back here. Well, Vinny, we've got ourselves a real nail-biter here. Both teams battling it back and forth. Stunners took set number 1 at 29-27. Puerto Rico battled back 25-23, 25-23, and now a decisive 25-18 win for the Stunners. This is the exact same pattern that we saw in that Freedom and Stunners match, if I'm not mistaken, and then it went to 5. Just before Stunners caught a lucky break, as far as I'm concerned, that Sam Schuldenberg was unable to continue because the lack of a libero, massively impactful in how that game went. Also, starting with a red card in the 5th set with Matt Hilling, so.
Yeah, losing your libero, especially one with the caliber of Schuldenberg, it definitely hurts your team.
Oh, yeah.
It's only fitting, though, that we finish this NVA season off with a 5-set battle with 2 teams from probably the toughest division in the NVA. And I believe they went 5 in the first matchup, event 1.
I think you're right. Oh, Ivan Fernandez. He's been watching Grant Maroki have a bit of a breakout performance.
Yeah. That was great rhythm on that swing. That looked to be his best swing of the match right there, coming at an opportune time.
1-1.
One thing I'd like to see Puerto Rico do here is, now that you've established the middle a little bit, let's run some Bic. Oh, lucky one.
Wow. So this is number 21, Arnaldo Torres, who has not played yet this match. Subbed in cold off the bench. He's the one that sent them into extra innings yesterday against Freedom. Got 2 of his 3 kills in the last 3 points, and then got an ace to end it.
That's right.
Really stellar performance. So they're relying on him in those clutch moments once again.
Chaparro, credit to him, finding guys to come in off the bench and score points for him.
Some of that thing for better and worse that have been attributed to Arnaldo's game is youthful energy. Has a lot of firepower, but sometimes lacks the knowledge of when to use it. So we'll see if and when and how that impacts here. Man, Santiago missed that hand by just mere inches. I thought he was about to just blow that hand up.
That was a good swing by Santiago. Much better than the last few that we saw in set 4.
Yeah. Give it to him again. Yep, there it is.
Love that set.
Absolutely.
Both sides are doing a great job of that. When their guy misses, they're giving it right back to him.
And Beamer knew it was going there. You can see him laughing right now because it was a full commit double backside. I mean,
yeah, he was in a full read. He was flowing left. He was ready to go get Jair again.
They could have set Ivan Fernandez, and I don't think anyone would have been on that side of the court. Like, I think Beamer was already moving left.
You might be right. Surprised they didn't just go 3 there in system.
Well, there you go, Olivier trading blows. Feels like we're back in that NBA All-Star match a little bit where everyone's just hitting the ball as hard as they can. And it's hard when you're passing well and serves have kind of lightened up a little bit here in the 5th. Everyone's in system.
Yeah.
That means you're all in read blocks, good on your guy, one-on-one.
Yep.
Sanborn stays in the match. Giovanni with a great pass, and he uncorks it. Woods tries to get underneath that ball, but unable to do so.
Alamar doing a great job there of getting around the setter as he was pushed into area 4. That way he held up the middle, overloaded that right side, and freed the ball up for that outside hitter. Giovanni's doing a nice job this match.
Yeah.
Very steady, good ball control.
I've been very impressed with him. Really do like his game the more I get this chance to see him. Santiago.
He heard us. He said, I'm not tired yet.
I got a little more. Goes to the bench, asks the wife for a banana,
That's right.
Gets a little more.
Kiss the baby.
Yeah.
And a little energy.
It's a family affair. Natasha Mills-Nalles and Jair have been an integral part of growing this league. Matadors, Pythons, Stunners, whatever. They just do it all.
Absolutely fortunate to have them in the league.
Oh, my gosh. And the Puerto Rico Pythons are lucky to have him on the court. We see probably for this, I want to say it's the second time this season a potential plus 30-point contribution. Penrose had a 35er, one under 36, which was the record from Chapman last year.
Yep.
And this would be, we're on track for.
Yeah, he's having a Penrose-esque match here from that Freedom match.
What are we at right
to be able to have the off-speed control there, you could see just how much confidence he has right now. Another ace.
Is that 3?
That's a turkey.
Oh, my gosh.
Yep.
3 serves, 3 aces in every way imaginable.
And he aced all 3 guys, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's going after everyone. Y'all are on notice. That just flipped his ace error upside down as well. He now has 8 aces to 7 errors.
That's phenomenal.
Insane.
Insane. If I'm Prosser here, I might put Calvin up and just go 4-man. He can pass.
Yeah, he's passing outside.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Didn't need to.
With that, though, we see 8, 10, 32 points on the board, 33 points on the board by my count from Santiago.
Wow.
He might be on his record for an NBA record right now.
He's on track, and they're going to keep feeding him, I believe.
What does he have? How many kills does he have right now? This match swinging. I know of at least one that he fixed. That second swing. Did he have any others?
I think that might be because he did miss that one. That was the repeat.
Yeah. So
that
that
his
3
only
aces. So he had 28 to end set number 4. So that's 32 total on the board. He's got room,
Incredible.
but they got to go for him right now. That'll be incredible.
Whether or not he's on track, I mean, they got to keep feeding him.
I got to be honest. You know, you want to win the 5-setter, but at this point, since this is all of a glory match, you want to get Jair Santiago that record against his old team.
Yeah.
That becomes a team goal. Obviously, they aren't aware of it.
Right.
They're not privy to that. That's not what any of the athletes care about. But, man,
But we'd like to see it.
Oh, I'd love to see it. The game within a game.
Great pass by Dean.
I don't know that caught a net. No objection. But that one shut down.
Ramos, a difference maker here already in this
Ace
fifth
and a
set.
block.
Yeah.
And those are two of the harder ways to score, right? Those are very, very unique points.
Yep.
It's easy for an outside to come in, maybe to get a kill or two, something like that, pass well, whatever it might be. But an ace and a block as an undersized guy, hard to do. Olivier clean. Oh, good move by Santiago. Good recognition.
It's a nice manage there by Olivier. He was on his route. Set was a little low. Found the court.
When you think about the guys in the category, though, that we're talking about, Penrose, Chapman, Jair, those are some NVA titans.
That's good company to be in.
That's
fortunate to have those two formers on my team.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Again, important to note, Zodovic talking about that there's contact there, and there absolutely is, but the middle line is shared so long as you are in contact with it. Both guys, and as someone with size 14 shoes, my heel on there is pretty invasive. That's almost a foot onto their side of the court, but that is entirely legal. It's a little scary for the safety of the players, but that is the rule. So sometimes you can come down fully on someone's ankle and still be legal technically, and that's, you know, a lot of us aren't looking at our feet, so when you feel someone underneath you, you assume they're under, but at this level with guys this big, not always the case.
It's an interesting rule, but it makes sense.
Yes.
You would kill a lot of plays if you didn't have that rule.
Wood's going to help out. All the way across court. Giovanni goes, he knows Santiago wants that roll shot. Covered. Oh, good try. Fernandez tries to get out of the way. Not quite able to do so.
It's another one of those inside balls for Santiago. He did a better job there of bringing his approach inside.
It almost became a full sprint to get his feet there. I really liked that move. Amari Miranda. Oh, I thought he might have gotten underneath that one. Not quite.
Set was a little low. Still like to see the middle maybe tip that over and just find the court, give your team a chance to play defense.
10-8, still a cushion here. One more and I expect to see a timeout. Giovanni, good ball. This is where I want to see you. I wanted to see that go back.
Yeah, I think the whole gym knew that one was probably going outside. Would love to see you go against the flow back to Jair.
Yeah, I mean.
Or even a back pick.
Yeah, just spread it out. I know it's a little bit harder when you're kind of bunched over in zone 4 there, but I just think that you're still relying on a guy. And we talked about it for Sanborn during set number 4, just the fact that he's still coming in cold.
Right.
You're trying to get him some opportune swings. Santiago, or apologies, 21. Arnaldo Torres, it's still a little cold. He's been blocked
Yes.
now twice in a row. He's scored well in some other ways, but you got to get his arm a chance. Otherwise, just go to Santiago, throw it back, get Jair taking some big rips.
Right. He's the reason you're here.
Yeah, he's already won a set by himself.
Yeah, you win or lose with Santiago.
4-point comparison. He literally has won set 4 and 5 by himself with the amount of points that he has scored.
It's a big side out here for Puerto Rico.
Yeah, there it is.
There's the set we wanted.
Shocker. There's
And
the
he
kill.
gets the kill.
Point 33 for those at home wanting to see this one go, because I certainly do. I would love for the NVA regular season to end with a record. Probably the only record we actually know for the league.
The countdown is definitely on here.
Oh, good dig by Pacheco. And another one.
Wow.
Santiago off the block. There's power, there's angle, there's more power into the angle. Kill 30 or point 34.
There's also off of 1 foot on a bump
Inside
set.
forward, a push slide there.
Just finding ways to score. Great job by Santiago.
All right, 3 points. He's got 34. If you set him every ball and the Stunners don't make a mistake and you don't go extra innings, he can
Yeah,
break
And he
the
might.
record.
he might.
I'm not convinced that
Why
Stunners
would you set
is-
anyone else
Yeah.
at this point?
I'm not convinced that Stunners is out of this either. We might get some trading after 15s here.
It's true.
So that could help. And I'll be honest, yes, selfishly, my broadcast at this point has become how do we get Jair Santiago 36 points. But
I think
everyone
you've
else.
done everything except go downstairs and tell Chapa
Yeah.
or the setter
Yeah,
to keep
yeah,
hitting
yeah.
Jair.
But hey, for a match that's all about the pride, find some purpose in it. And Jair, the other thing is a little bit of a celebration of a player that's worked his butt off
Great
all
touch.
season long. Off speed, there's a net. Can we attribute that to?
I believe that is still a kill, statted as a kill, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know. We can take that up with older
Our
England
statistician.
downstairs.
Our fabulous statistician, Phil England,
Stepping in.
stepping in for the also amazing Kenzie.
Good pass by Tanner. Inside. Oh, Pacheco, what a dig. Stabbing at that one. Maroki blocked back. Hui Ding throws it up. 50-50 ball. Sanborn jousts that one off the block. That was a heads-up play. I
Great
really
play,
like
Cal.
that Sanborn's getting some PT right now because we're seeing moments of brilliance and some moments where it's like, okay, learning opportunity. But that's valuable.
Yep.
A young guy like that, you can get him some of those reps surrounded by some veterans. Always welcome. Also, 49er lineup in the front row.
Love to see that.
That serve goes long. And with that serve, so too goes the likelihood that a new NVA record is set. But a win here for Puerto Rico, that's a statement win for a game that matters not on paper. You'll remember that one.
That's a statement weekend for them.
Yeah.
5 with freedom, and then if they're able to come out on top here against the Stunners.
He came in set 5, started it with an ace, ends it with an ace. Bookends, Arnaldo Torres, number 21. What a performance. 15-10, that's a 5-set win. 29-27 going the way of the Stunners. 25-23, 25-23 for the Pythons. 25-18 for the Stunners. And finally concluded at 15-10 the way of the Puerto Rico Pythons, ending their season 4-6, 4th place in the National Conference. One last recap. 3 weeks' time, July 28th, 29th, 30th. 8 more matches that will wrap the season. On your American Conference, first seed, Las Vegas Ramblers taking on the number 4 seed, Inland Empire Matadors. Number 2 seed, San Diego Wild taking on the number 3 Utah Stingers. Then on the side of the National Conference, the number 1 seed Texas Tyrants will battle the number 4 seed, hot off a 5-set win, Puerto Rico Pythons. And then your number 2 seed OC Stunners will take on the number 3 seed New Jersey Freedom. For all of us here at the NVA, it's been a great weekend. It's been a battle. We've had a ton of great volleyball. We've gotten through it. A special shout out to Josh Nels, who stepped in as an assistant coach from the OC Stunners. Also been the executive producer on our stream all weekend long. A man that truly can do it all. So on behalf of myself, the staff, all of the individuals, Ron Dunn, Tyler Hubbard, Neal, Gianluca Grasso, we've had Vinny Rodriguez, Spencer Andrews, tons of people, Matt Buffum, all special guest appearances this weekend. We've had a ton of fun. Have a great weekend. We'll see you in 3 weeks' time for the exciting conclusion, NVA 2024. We'll see you next time.